Hello, people. I'm having problems with the connection today. Anyway, um, I don't think Taylor Swift is the problem. Well, directly the problem. I do think she's using it, and I do think she's enjoying the spotlight, and I think that she knows full well what she's doing, and so is the NFL, and so is a few other people. But she ain't the problem. She's no. I've seen it. I've been around long enough. I've seen this idol, this modern culture of putting these people on pedestals for 40 odd years. Her songs are all the same songs I've heard before for 40 years. She's just another pretty face, another nice voice, another idol for the American pop culture idol worshippers to worship. She's talented, but I'm not sure she's that talented. I'm sorry, but she's not the problem. And I've said that. And I really do believe she's not the problem. It is the American cultural, uncertain. I don't want to get political, but it's difficult not to. She's an idol. She's an American idol. And when I mean that literally. Like the golden calf of idol, like the gods of ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome idols. She's not a person. She's a figurehead. She's not a human being. She's an idol. She's somebody. Oh, everybody's just falling all over themselves because Taylor Swift is doing something. Newsflash: most people don't care. But she's this. I'm not trying to attack her. She has talent, but at the same time, it's like I've seen it all before. She's just the latest thing to fall all over themselves. People falling all over themselves to worship, to add to adoration, to just think, oh, she's the greatest singer who ever lived. She's not. She's not even close. And she'll come and go like all the other names have come and gone. It's the modern cultural mentality that people seem to have this pathological need to worship a human being who sings songs that have been heard before and probably better. I haven't heard one single song of hers that I haven't heard someone else sing for the last 40 odd years. Okay, what is so great about this person other than she's singing the exact same songs? Yeah, she's dating one of the Kansas City Chiefs. I hope they lose. I really hope they lose. I really do. I really do. Only to see what happens to this made up cultural phenomenon that's been created since she started dating the Kansas City guy. And I want to watch because I know what's going to happen. I mean, she's not she's not really directly the problem. She's really not. It's the media as usual. It's the cultural idolatry that this country literally is drowning in. And this country is drowning in crappy culture. In culture that's not culture. It's just the latest human being to worship and treat as if they're gods. And like most idols, they're empty. There's nothing there. They give you nothing. They give you absolutely nothing when you actually need them. They're false gods. I mean, I don't think I really do believe it's a deep rooted cultural issue that's the problem. Americans mostly, it seems to me anyway, unfortunately, on certain important groups. I'll just say groups because I don't want to get political. I really don't. Because I don't think this is a political thing. I think it's being used by politics. I think it will be used by politics. I don't care who she supports. I could care less who Taylor Swift supports in the election. She voted for Biden last year. Who do you think she's going to support? This is not a surprise, people. She's going to support Biden. That is what she did last time. That's what she's going to do this time. That is where most of her supporters and her fans and those who worship the ground she walks on live. They live in that world. I mean, and conservatives, Let it go. Republicans, let it go. She's not a hill worth dying on. She's irrelevant on the grand scheme of things and the culture wars and the political wars and everything else about this country. The border crisis is not going to be solved by worrying about what Taylor Swift is doing or not doing. Nobody cares what's happening at the border walls. Okay? Doesn't solve anything. Let it go. Just stop it. Okay? Now, granted, I think the media is blowing a lot of this out of proportion because they like to do that. But at the same time, chocolate milk. But at the same time, conservatives, and I don't even think it's really a large group of conservatives or Republicans that are doing this. It's a media hype. Like everything else with the media, they take one little thing and they make it into a mountain. I mean, I don't care who Taylor Swift votes for. I don't care who she's dating. And I don't care what she's doing. Okay, she can sing, that's nice. Sorry, not impressed. I don't care. What I care about, which I really do care about, is what this country is being turned into by a bunch of people more worried about what Taylor Swift is doing than what the present administration is doing, or what the courts are doing, or what Hollywood is doing, or what anybody else is doing that is destructive to this country. Taylor Swift is irrelevant. Taylor Swift is just another modern cultural idol that will come and go. She'll hang around for a little while, like she's already done. She'll come and go, and then there'll be somebody else who'll take her place. I've been here for. I've been on this. I've been observing all this for 40 odd years. She's just like any other idol that's just popular at the moment. It's not her fault. I mean, she's talented. She can sing. Granted, her songs sound pretty much like all the other songs I've heard before, and they all seem to be the same subject. I'm gonna try to keep this video under 10 minutes, but enough. If conservatives or Republicans are getting themselves bent out of shape over Taylor Swift, you've lost the real problems in this country right now. You're attacking a symptom, a minor symptom at that, a very minor symptom at that. This country has bigger problems and bigger issues to deal with, and bigger everything else I can think of problems than what Taylor Swift is doing or not doing, or who she's voting for, or who she's dating. I don't care. And I'm listening. I'm pretty sure that most of this media hype of what they're conservatives are all bent out of shape. I doubt it. It's a small minority. It usually is, but I don't blame Taylor Swift. Believe it or not, I really don't. Not really. She's indirectly a problem, but she's not the problem. She's never been the problem. She's just the latest idol that modern American culture wants to worship. They want a goddess, and they got a goddess. That's what they're doing. And at some point, they're going to find another goddess. They're going to find another god to worship, another idol to worship, and another person to just fall all over themselves and start crying about and panicking and everything else that they do. I mean, this is an election year. I'm not exactly sure why it should shock anybody who she's going to vote for. She'll vote for the exact same person she voted for last time. Move on. There are bigger issues in this country right now in this election year than what Taylor Swift is doing. If your biggest concern is what Taylor Swift is doing or not doing, or who she's doing it with, or whatever, your priorities are screwed up. She's just another idol. She's just the latest modern cultural idol that people are just fawning and falling over themselves worshiping. She's a false idol. She's a false god. She's a false everything else this country, this culture of rot and corruption and anything else I can think of is creating. Okay, I mean, I get it. I kind of get it up to a point but it's not a hill worth dying on. It's not a hill worth losing an election over. Move on. There's far more important things to be doing than the Taylor Swifting. Let the Swifties worship their false god all they want. They're going to vote for the person anyway they were going to vote for in the first place. If they need Taylor Swift to tell them who to vote for, that's a them problem. That's a cult. And I get it. To me, it borders on cult sometimes to watch the way people act about Taylor Swift. You would think she walked on water, raised the dead, and rose from the dead, and healed the sick, and everything else I can think of. She's not. She's going to eventually lose all that luster, and eventually she's going to get older. And like Madonna, who really needs to retire, by the way, she's going to end up like Madonna. She's going to be a has-been. She's going to be an old idol. Remember how they used to treat Madonna? That's exactly what they're doing with Taylor Swift. And it's exactly how it's going to end. The conservatives or Republicans or whatever you want to call yourselves, move on. Find a real battle worth fighting. Find something really worth fighting for. Find a real cause. Find the real problem that's not helping this country. This country is destroying itself. And it's worshiping an idol known as Taylor Swift instead of dealing with the reason why it's falling apart. Anyway, I wanted to keep this under 10 minutes. It's over 11. Anyway, but seriously, move on. Taylor Swift is not the problem. She's a symptom, but she's not the problem. Anyway, just another idol in this country. It's destroying itself because it's worshiping a false god. But then again, modern culture is about self-worship. And worshiping anybody who will not judge them or not tell them to be responsible for anything. But anyway, share, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for listening. Behave yourselves, people, because you know I'm not going to. I don't know how. Later.